Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create straight hair using hair cards. This is part 1, I'll post part 2 after. I do have 2 videos, one that goes into creating curly hair, then one that specifically shows you how to create the hair card. So go check out those videos just so you can see. I also mentioned the 3 artists that I learned this from. So we're going to be creating the hair card in Procreate. I do the canvas thin, so when I go into Nomad, I have to make the plane thin so that I'm able to get the longest hair as possible. For this hairstyle or hair technique, I'm creating 2 different images. One where you just have the regular hairs going down straight, and then another one that looks like a hair extension, so when you attach it to the back of the head, you won't see through to the scalp. And I'll show you how to do that. I am doing all of this in real time so that you guys are able to follow along and be able to sort of create a similar look that I do. So right now I am creating the hair extension. It's sort of like weaves when you have like the tracks or the parts. That's the type of thing I'm trying to not manipulate, but reflect with these hair cards. Now in Procreate, we're going to go ahead and delete the sphere, make a new scene, and we're going to add a plane. We're going to make the plane similar to the canvas size that we created in Procreate. For me personally, this gives you a lot more space and I don't want to say longevity because I don't think that's the right word, but it allows you to make the hair strands longer and as long as you want. So I just simply stretch it to the length that I want. I save it as long hair 1. And this will be sort of like that track you put in the back of the hair. And then we're going to go and duplicate this or create a new scene and just import it, and then go into materials, go down to texture and change it to the other hair piece that we created. This one is more for the top of the head where the hair is parted, so that you sort of get that real hair texture on the top of the hair. As always, don't forget to change the back of the side to a darker color, darker shade than the hair that you're going to be creating. So if you want blonde, dark brown, black, etc. And what you see me doing here is just duplicating it and stretching it out so I can get longer pieces, because this will go on the top of the head. And also doing this gives you more strands of hair, so you don't have to do multiple or as many patches or importing parts. Now that that is complete, we're going to go into, or you're going to go into your model, and we're going to start doing the hair. For this is the head that I'm using. I just start by placing down a simple sort of like cap on the head, so sometimes you do still see through it, but this is just in case you do see through it and you don't have to really go back and try and cover up those places. So now I am going to import or add to scene the first hair extension, and I'm going to make this longer. It depends on how long you want the hair to be. You can do short, you can do long. And I'm going to move it until it fits to the head. To get that hair tucked behind the ear, once you get this piece settled, you're going to use the the drag tool to push the top of that extension back behind the ear. This is me using the drag tool to curl the top. I don't go to the tip of the hair part. I do it at slowly below the top of it, because if you just go straight and try to curl the top of the hair, it's going to look like this. So what I do is either I use the inflate tool to inflate the plane, or I go from a little bit below the top of that hair track and pull it outwards so that it curves around the head. You won't need to do this for every piece, just for the few that we will be cloning and just going around the head with it. So I'm doing the same thing here too. I'm curling the bottom of the hair, just giving it a little tiny bit of a wave. And if at any point like the hair looks wobbly or not like straight or wavy, awkwardly wavy in some places, go to the smooth tool and just smooth it out, and it will automatically correct that for you. Once you've gotten that piece down, you're going to clone it, or not clone it, but you're going to adjust the gizmo tool, the pivot, to the top of the hair so that until you're able to manipulate the hair easily. And then we're going to clone it, move it over, and we're just going to go around the head doing this. You can mirror it so that the process does go a lot faster. And I do mirror it eventually so that the process doesn't take as long. You do not have to start at the bottom of the hair like I did in the curly hair video. You don't have to start at the bottom of the hair with the curly hair video either. That was my first time trying this technique, and as I'm slowly learning it better, I'm realizing that you do not have to start at the bottom and put so many hair pieces into the hair to make it look full. As you clone each hair piece, you can go ahead and join all of them and then clone that so that you're saving time and you're not spending too much time just adding each piece. I go into the symmetry settings and I mirror the hair pieces that I've already created to make this process go a lot faster, as I said before. And as you're adding these pieces, you'll start to see that from the front view, I will show you the front view in a little bit, you start to see that the hair sort of looks full from the front, and we're not even having to start from the bottom of the head or from the back bottom of the head. it feels or looks too symmetrical to you, just select the move tool, and the move tool allows you to move individual planes within the groups that you have. So just slightly adjust them and move them around so they don't look like, it doesn't look too symmetrical if that does bother you. Now let's take a look at the front. When I turn to the front, as I said before, it looks like the hair is full, you have multiple strands, and you don't even have to start from the bottom of the head. If at this process you do want to make it a little bit more fuller, group all of these planes that you have, all these hair tracks, these pieces, and then clone it, make it slightly smaller and move it up or down just to fill in those spaces a little bit so that it looks a lot fuller. Now that this part is done, we're going to put aside the track, or yeah, the hair track looking pieces, and we're going to do just the strands of the hair, and we're going to start doing the side of the head and then also building up to the hairline. So what I do is add the hair strands or the long hair to the scene, and I'm going to be turning it and manipulating, doing the same thing I did before by turning and curling the top head of the top part of the hair and just curving it to the head. For this part or this piece, you're going to want to push even for the long hair one, you're going to want to push the tips of those hairs into the head so that it looks like the hairs are coming out of the head. Right now, I'm going to turn the top part of the hairs towards the hairline or where the baby hairs are, so it looks like it's sort of being blended, or you're blending it into that hair direction that you started when you created your the cap or the beginner or the bottom or the background or the scalp. Once you get to a point where you're satisfied and it doesn't have to be perfect, we're going to do the same thing we did before, and we're going to clone this, move it back, shift it a little bit using the drag tool, not the move tool, because you will move each individual hairs that's in this piece or in this group. And if you watch the curly hair video using hair cards, it's pretty much the same thing you're curling the piece, you're matching the piece to the head, making sure it's adjustable to the head, and then you're cloning it, and that's pretty much it. You just keep doing that. This doesn't have to take a lot of time. I am going to post a video that does allow you to create curly hair, wavy hair, straight hair, you know, type 2, type 1, type 3, type 4, and it's a lot faster. It uses the curves tool, but I'm going to get a little bit more into that to the next video when I do post that and introduce that to you guys. Right now, we're using the move tool to adjust the bottom of the hair. Make sure if you don't like that much symmetry, just shift it a little bit. We're going to keep cloning and moving each hair piece, cloning and moving each hair piece, cloning and moving each hair piece until that part is full and you're satisfied with how it looks. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, because these planes we are using a low resolution, it will get like sort of these sharp edges. To fix that, make sure that the radius of the smooth tool is small and just use the smooth tool to lightly go over it. Lightly go over it with the smooth tool and just blend, or not blend, but smooth that out. We're going to do the same thing as before they did in the beginning of the video. We're going to group all of or join all of the pieces that we want to mirror, and we're going to mirror that so that, again, you're saving space. As I said before in the beginning of the video as well, to get that part behind the ear, you simply use the drag tool to push it behind the ear and push the hairs that come out below the ear to the side so that it looks like it's coming from behind the ear. From this point on, I'm making minimal adjustments so that now on the other side of the head where the tracks were mirrored, I am matching it to the baby hairs and the direction of the hair that's indicated. Again, using or when you create the sort of hair cap on the top where you see like the black. I import a new plane with only the hairs, not the hair track, and I make that smaller, and then I will curl that and wave that so that it can fit to the head and sort of blends into the hair. This is why I use two different ones, because the first one will be just the space filler, and then the actual strands of the hair will be used to blend anything that didn't blend well. Part 2 is up right now or at the same time I post this video so that you can just go straight to that video and be able to finish this hairstyle. I will see you in part 2. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.